So why does pretty well every single one of my videos have anamorphic under the title? Well, today I'm going to be telling you guys all about anamorphic, what it is, why would you ever shoot on anamorphic lenses, and what really the difference is between spherical lenses and anamorphic lenses with some side-by-side comparisons. Because let's face it, there's not a lot of information out there, it seems a little sketchy, and I'm just going to clear some things up. My anamorphic setup costed me around $350 to $400 to get everything working, running, get the proper lenses, the mounts, everything. It's hard to know what to buy, what's even good. I don't know. I still don't know. Still stuff I'm learning every single day, and I want to expand my collection a lot more than I already have, but I'm poor, so, you know, there's that. So, this is my anamorphic lens setup here. It is the Helios 44-2 vintage lens, a super popular vintage lens that you can find for extremely cheap. We got the Vid Atlantic anamorphic clamp here, and then on top of that, the actual anamorphic part, which is the Sancor 16C. And so what does anamorphic even do? Basically, by putting this anamorphic adapter part thingy majiggy on to the front of my lens, it takes the spherical lens, which is just the regular lens because it's called spherical, because the bokeh, the things that are out of focus in the background, are shaped like circles. It takes that and it basically stretches the image. Now you can get different stretch factors. I would recommend you only get stretch factors that are 2 times stretch factor. My reason for that is because anything else doesn't really look anamorphic, in my opinion. So basically with the 2 times, it's stretching that image 2 times. A wider image with the exact same focal length. Now hold on. You're probably like, what? That sounds pretty cool. And it is. You should be excited. This lens is a 58mm lens. With this on, it keeps the same characteristics of the 58mm focal length, but it gives you more room on either side of the image. So basically you're getting a wider image with the same focal length. Here are 2 side-by-side comparisons of a lens flare on the same lens, the Helios 44-2, in just its normal state, spherical, and then also paired with the Sancor 16C anamorphic, and you can see drastically how different those flares look. Now, a big part of the flares for me isn't just the fact that it's horizontal and it has that kind of Hollywood cinematic flare. A big part of it for me is also the ghosting. If you don't know what I mean, basically get a flashlight and shine it into your lens and you'll see that your whole image kind of gets foggy. It kind of blurs out the rest of the image, and you can kind of, sometimes it's nice, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it also just puts this, you can't see what's in the shot. It's just all white, and it kind of ruins the shot sometimes. Anamorphic lens flare, it creates that lens flare, but you don't have anything kind of getting in the way of the image. You can still see the image perfectly fine, which is great. Now there are a ton of different anamorphic lens options out there, but that being said, if you just go on your local camera store, so let's say B&H, and you search anamorphic lenses, you will quickly find that these things are not cheap. And that's where these solutions come in. Well, this is literally a lens on top of a lens. So there's gonna be some hiccups. First of all, you cannot pull focus with this at all, because you have to focus 2 individual lenses. So I don't even pull focus. I set up my shot, I set exactly where it's gonna be away from me, and then fire in the hole. Gotta either move back or move towards your subject to make sure it stays in focus. Takes some practice, but it can be done. So there's that to deal with. But other than that, there's really no difference. So let's take a look at some examples, shall we? So I shot these real quick just before this video, and we got one shot right here of me. Guess what? Yeah, boy. And basically it's just kind of showing on a person what the difference between anamorphic and spherical are. As you can see in the background on the anamorphic shot, the bokeh is more oval shaped, it's more vertical, and this is just due to that stretch factor. It's stretching, and then when you compress it, de-squeeze it back in post, it will create that cool oval shaped bokeh. Next up, we got this product shot here. Now this one isn't as dramatic of a difference, but there is still a difference, I would say. So you're like, okay, Jonah, I'm sold, alright? I gotta get an anamorphic lens. Now what do you do? What are the steps? Alright, so here's what you can do. I would go on eBay. This is where I bought all my anamorphic lens stuff from, and just search anamorphic lens and see what comes up. Look for a price that you think is reasonable, something that you're into, something that you can afford, and then go and research that lens on YouTube. Go find reviews, go find footage tests with your camera, with other cameras. You just gotta research it, find all the quirks, find what you like, find what you don't like, and wait for a deal, and eventually you'll end up with an anamorphic lens. So next you want to find a spherical lens. This one here is a great option. I highly recommend you get it. Very cheap. It's around $100. I guarantee you can find one for under $100. And then you just got to adapt it to your camera. This is an M42 mount to a Canon mount. Costs you like $12 for the mount. So that being said, anamorphic is a great option for pretty well anyone looking to create some different visuals that no one's really seen before. I feel like a lot of people just don't know about it, and it's starting to become a bigger trend. I'd love at some point to actually get a real anamorphic lens, because I don't really like to use this one on actual paying gigs, just because it is a bit hard to use, it's a bit quirky, but I love the look so much. So sometimes I'm tempted, sometimes I do it, and it's just so cool. But I'd like to get one that I can actually pull focus with and just make my life a lot easier. So any anamorphic lens companies out there that want to help your boy out, I'm sure we can work something out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned a little something. Hope you guys understand maybe why I shoot anamorphic and just my thoughts behind it. And hopefully you guys can go do the same thing if that's something you're interested in. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Stay awesome. Peace!